Hello, and welcome to another episode of Hi, I'm Jason, with Jason Pollock. I am not Jason. Join Jason and Justin back in the green room as they talk with some of their favorite folks from the entertainment industry. And now, the man you haven't been waiting for, Jason Pollock!
Hey everybody, it's Jason Pollock. Hi, I'm Jason. That's better. That's what it should be. I'm alone tonight. Justin has some cancellations of live shows, but he got one live show that requires every Wednesday to be a rehearsal. So therefore leaves me by myself. And as far as my guests go, I have Nathan Cole Smith and Chris Hammersley of the I'm Jason. They're the I Love You Man podcast. They're my guests, and they're not here yet either. So it's just me solo by myself, which is the way I'm used to it, the way I'm used to living my life anyway, all alone. Despite being happily married, I'm all alone most of the time. But I'm going to use this opportunity to tell you a story of something that happened to me last year. I went to the bathroom before a show. It was number one. I was peeing. All right, I'm just gonna be open. You know, why not? Let's keep it an open forum. So I was peeing before a show in the men's room, and I noticed a fly was buzzing around, and he went midstream, boom, knocked in the toilet, which sucked for him, right? I mean, I call it a him because we were in the men's room, so I'm assuming. I'm not judging, but I'm just assuming. I'm going by science, people. So that being said, I'm still peeing. I think the story so far has been longer than the whole pee session, but I was looking down and I noticed, God, he's not dead. I felt really bad because the poor thing, I thought I killed him from this pee. I thought, what a horrible way to go. I mean, then I saw him swimming, and I thought, okay, in retrospect, it's a fly. This is a day at the spa for him. So good for him. Good for him. And I saw you swimming to the edge of the toilet. And there he goes. And I'm rooting for him now. I'm cheering him on. Go, go, go. And he's climbing up the bowl. And he gets to the top, and he flies away. And I thought, good for you, fly. Good for you. He's free to live another day and didn't have to die in a lonely pool of pee. But then he turned around and landed on my cheek. And I felt like that was his way of saying, fuck you to me. And I told that story. That
was a great story. That's happened to all of us at one point or another. The fly somehow, there's a decision. Do we put him out of his misery and just stream him to death, or we just root him on and see if he makes it somehow? But
I'm so glad you find that relatable.
I guarantee you every man at one time of his life has had that situation with a fly in the urinal. I guarantee
this is magical. This is such a good moment for me to find somebody who relates with this story. I say I have to go on. I have to go on screen. This is amazing content right here. We have got to get this out to the world. With that being said, we do have Chris in the waiting room. So whenever you want, let's bring him in.
All right,
ladies and gentlemen, Chris Hammersley. Did I pronounce that right?
Let's see. Do I have these on?
Hey, Chris. Can you hear me? I hear you loud and clear, Chris. If you can hear me at all. I'm thinking he can.
There we are.
Hey, there you are, Chris. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Good. Thanks for being here, my friend.
Thank you for having me.
So, what part of the world are you in again?
Ohio. The worst part.
That's right. The worst part. It's you gotta have. I know some people who've come from Ohio, and they do have a really great personality. It builds character, I think, to survive living in Ohio.
It's true. It's true.
And I'm just gonna tell the people, you're Chris Hammersley of the Hi. No, I'm Jason. I did it again. Of the I Love You Man podcast.
You just love your name so much that you just gotta
Oh
insert
God,
it.
I hate it so much. But yes. So you and Nathan, who's not here yet, will be joining us. He's probably in the green room still eating that virtual sushi.
Yeah, he's in the Central Standard Time Zone, so he thought that's what time it was at.
Oh right. I'm not gonna go. Well, we put Eastern in the. I won't say that. I won't say that.
You could though. You could.
I could, but that how Karen of that would be of me with
That's
that.
that's Texas though. You know, they just think everything goes by their laws.
That's true. You know, being a Midwesterner, I'm impressed that you're speaking out against Texas. Good for you.
I don't need them.
Who does? Am I right?
Yeah.
Oh,
With their crazy laws.
yeah. You know, great.
You can get a gun at the bank, and you can't abort a baby the second it's conceived.
My mom still tells me she wishes she had an abortion years later.
Late term.
Late term, yeah.
Yeah. So I'm going to perform a late term abortion on you, Jason.
She could get away with it. In fact, you know what? Darn it! I have a picture I wanted to show you.
I mean, how easy do you think you could get away with murder? You know, we're just going to go there right away.
You know, watching Dexter, you'd think it's really simple. Everybody knows how to get away with murder, except
Hi.
Hey, Nathan. He's
I
doing the
can't
same
hear
thing that
y'all.
you did.
Go to what did I have to do? I had to change my mic or my headphones. I had to change it to my headphones.
Oh, okay.
Let me
There it is.
roughly.
Sorry, guys.
No
Making
worries,
it-
man. No worries.
Just like last time. Hey, I really like this. Does this program cost anything?
StreamYard?
Yeah.
Yes, it does. I think. My producer Bobby, can you come out and tell these gents the basics of StreamYard?
There he is. Look at him.
Hey,
Oh, dang. Super
yes,
professional.
StreamYard is I pay $49.50 a month because if you're doing multiple shows, you want to be able to have a whole bunch of shows ready to go, and it gives you more destinations to stream to.
Mhm.
Where the free or the cheaper version kind of limits you in a way. So it is technically, I think there is a free version, but I don't know if it gives you full capabilities.
Oh, I just like the
Yeah.
background. If we could figure out something like that, Chris.
Nate, you interrupted. We were getting ready to talk about something interesting.
All right, thank you. Oh, yeah, we were talking. Well, I was showing him a picture. My mom wants to do a late-term abortion. And this is from last month, my birthday. And she was coming at me. So I mean,
Oh my goodness.
yeah, I've been a handful. What can I say?
She
Tom
was
Bannis
trying to cut the
commented, "Hey,
cake,
you."
but she was going for the cake, but only for my fingers.
Yeah, like your fingers aren't on the cake. They're supposed to be on there. Everyone knows how. And Tom Bannis commented, "Hey, you handsome mofo." Thank you, Tom. Everyone knows how to get away with murder except Nathan.
Are we live?
We
Yes.
are live.
Is there
Looks
an
like we
audience?
got a chat going too. I like it.
Yes, little bit of everything. So tell us. I'm going to tell the people at home watching or listening in the future. You guys are with the I Love You Man podcast. Nathan Cole Smith and Chris Hammersley.
That's right.
What is the I Love You Man podcast?
It's a podcast that deals with mental health. It's mainly about normalizing
That was weird.
sharing your emotions with the ones around you, or anybody that asks, really. it's important. We found it important to be able to share your story with people and not feel uncomfortable in those moments, because sharing it is what can save your life ultimately.
That is really important. Good for you guys for doing that. Has it actually? Do
We're
you
not
guys have any?
heroes. We didn't save any lives yet.
That's where I was going with that. No, but you could be. You could be just for letting people get it out. When I try to open up around my friends, I'm slightly older. They're not. I get called Liberace.
For sharing your feelings.
Yeah, around certain friends. But I do
Yeah,
it
and see,
anyway.
that's kind of what we're trying to do. We're just trying to. So a little bit of background.
Anytime, Nate.
He's frozen. Oh, poor Nate. He's having some technical issues in his bunker.
Everything's bigger in Texas except for the Wi-Fi.
Oh no, he's in Texas. That's right.
Look at that. He just got a late-term abortion.
Well,
On to the
Chris,
topic of murder.
I literally have the world's shittiest Wi-Fi.
Stop stealing it from your landlord and buy your own.
I stopped doing that.
He's siphoning internet.
Yeah, the first episode it literally says, "I'm still in my my landlord's Wi-Fi."
All right, that was some awkward silence. Okay, guys.
So yeah, so we started the podcast. So I've always been kind of a brick wall with my emotions, so to say. Every time that I try to tell people my emotions, it shuts people out. I freak people out. I wouldn't say freak people out, but I really like push them away because I get overly honest. And so I came up with this idea just out of the blue one day, and I posted on Facebook. I was like, hey, I'm thinking about starting a mental health podcast, for men. So it's not so weird. So, the way that I'm feeling, other people can feel as well. Well, Chris messaged and he's like, hey, I'm interested. I'm going through some stuff. And I was like, cool, you're my host now. I just threw him in there, because it was going to be like an individual thing. But, Chris was the only one that actually, was like, yeah, let's do it. So I got very lucky with Chris, and I honestly couldn't do this without him. And
I never volunteered to be a co-host.
I got voluntold.
I'm going to be a guest. And then
Yeah.
he's like, oh, okay. Well, you're a host now.
Yeah, we were talking about like, how do you want to do the first episode? And I was like, hey, you want to be a co-host now? Like, you want to end this together? Meanwhile, he's going through a divorce and a breakup and school.
Well, yeah. I mean, it is important for everybody to be able to open up like that, because if you hold it in, you'll explode, man.
Oh yeah.
And yeah, it's hard. We share on the podcast. I grew up, I didn't see a lot of men cry, and for some reason I always got made fun of with my family and my friends for being the sensitive one. So I got tired of being that way, and I was like, fine then, I'll just shut myself out. And I did, and everyone was like, what's going on with you? And it's like, no one wants to hear me. Why am I going to say anything?
Well, that's great, Nate.
It
should be normalized. When I first went to therapy years ago, some of my family were kind of embarrassed. You just tell people you go to therapy. I didn't see a big deal with it. I said, yeah, I don't know what the problem is. I've got some things I need to work out. Talk to me. You could talk to me. Like, no, I'd rather not.
I get that too. I told my family member the same thing. Like, you can always talk to me, and it's like I did, and you just
exactly
didn't hear what I had to say. I became pretty open about it. I got Chris into therapy, and that was the whole goal at first, is to have more men go to therapy. But now we kind of, as we progress, we're only 17 episodes in, and as we progress, we just want it to be kind of a safe space in a way.
All inclusive for everyone.
Yeah, if you can't afford therapy, that's fine. But like, let's hear these other people. If you feel alone, you're not alone.
Well,
like,
and
there's
I think
7 billion people in the world.
That's the biggest thing. When any of us are going through a hard time, we just keep our eyes forward, and we're assuming that no one else is struggling. And there's times where you can say what you're going through and it's almost verbatim what someone else is dealing with.
Or
No doubt.
we get this a lot. It's I really related to so and so's episode because I kind of had something the same, but it was different this way, and I was like, cool, let's talk about it because maybe someone feels the same exact way. And that's pretty much what it is. And with our podcast, I think you were the second person on that we didn't have that we had a last name. With our podcast, we tried to bring in, we call them like,
You keep it
average
anonymous?
Joes. Yeah, just first names. Let's check it. Like Chris and I, we don't share our first name.
We
or
get
our
big
last names.
Hollywood types on like you, Jason, and everybody feels down about themselves. Like, look at this guy. He's got all this money. He's touring around Kansas City. He's doing things.
It doesn't mean anything mentally, though. And we have a comment from Elizabeth Batapede, if I'm pronouncing that right. She said it's a big stigma for men to be in therapy. Men have feelings too. Yeah, absolutely. Thanks, Elizabeth.
Oh, definitely. Yeah.
And you guys are former vets, right? Are you military?
Correct.
Yep.
Yes.
So yeah, I mean, if anybody needs therapy, you've probably seen things you can't unsee.
Yeah, for me, it was kind of all mentally. Like I didn't go through like combat or anything. No offense, Chris, but like he was in the reserves and I was in active duty. I was stationed on the ship for 4 years. I've been deployed, I say 1.5 times. There's been times where my ship was in danger, and we had to like keep, sleep with one eye open and everything. That kind of, did a little bit of damage, but a lot of the stuff that happened to me, it was kind of all mentally, it was kind of how all this started. I was reaching out to people and nobody would help me. There's a big story on a sailor. He called his mom and told her, hey, if I don't get some help, I'm going to commit suicide. And that's kind of in the position I was. I was telling my leaders and my chain of command and everything. And I just got ignored to the point where it just kind of destroyed my whole life. I got to a real bad spot and I was just married. You could listen to episode 2 of I Love Man to get the more nitty gritty details, but
so I assume you're happily married, but it still didn't work. You still had some deep rooted stuff going on.
Yeah, and I got lucky that she was a big part of it. She was a support system. She saved my life essentially. I couldn't have, I would not be here. I don't know how I would do it differently, but I'm glad that she was around. It was tough. We've had our own battles personally. She's taught me how to be a man more than anyone ever has. And I'm still working on it, day by day, but
well, you're a great personality, dude. I mean, you're just, I remember when I was on your show, we had a blast together. I'm glad you're still here. I'm glad both of you are still here.
Yeah, I'm on some medication that it really really helps.
Marijuana?
No, I don't. So I did smoke. I still do, but I don't smoke as much. So for me now, I'm sorry I'm talking so much, Jason. I think I'm nervous.
No, well, it's better than being silent on a podcast. I'd rather
When I
you
get
talk.
nervous,
Thank
I
you.
have diarrhea. So
And that would be a show. Let it out, Chris. Yeah.
So have you ever heard? It's kind of like a more boring, but This American Life.
Yes.
So there was this story I was listening to the other day that was like mishaps while on like online settings. This girl was talking about how she was taking an online test, like a licensure for her to be a lawyer or whatever, but you had to stay on the camera. She didn't use the restroom during the break time, and the new proctor would not let her leave. So what she does is she decides she's just going to go full tilt.
No.
Like tilt?
And takes a shit.
Oh my God.
While on camera. So she takes a shit while she's on camera, right? But so she just shits takes the rest of her exam, and just sits there like the shit's not there, finishes the exam, and then during the break, the camera stays on. So she army crawls around like underneath the camera, cleaning up her own shit. So she ends up passing.
So she went on the floor.
So it was worth it.
Yeah, she's crawling underneath the camera to clean up the shit.
Yeah, she went on the
Oh my
floor.
gosh, what do you listen to?
This is like NPR, dude.
Yeah, that's NPR.
So she passed the exam and everything. Then she's like voice chatting with friends like a year later, and she finally got the balls to tell them this story. And the one friend's like, "Hey, how long's that mirror been there?"
Oh my
Yes.
gosh. That's
See,
crazy.
see, you would have missed that story. Had you ended your life, that's the kind of shit you would have missed.
Yeah. Yeah.
Tom Bannis said diarrhea can get viral. And Jason, up your level of commitment. This is the moral of the story. Yeah.
That's right. Yeah.
In other words, you got to shed shit. Damn it.
I had it pretty bad a couple it was about a month ago. Man, I had a stint where I like went to the hospital for like the craziest things, man. So my wife was gone, and my testicles were like just in so much pain, dude.
He kept texting me about it.
Yeah, seriously, I couldn't even walk. It was the worst. So I went to the urgent care and had them all checked out, and they were checking me for STDs, and I'm like, I don't have an STD. Like, that's impossible. I'm married. We don't have sex.
Yeah,
we're married.
Or-
That's a little joke, I threw it in there.
You actually have less sex when you're married.
Yeah.
Not necessarily.
If you put a penny in a jar for every time you have sex before you're married, and then you take one out every time you do after, the jar never empties.
Yeah, you're recycling old jokes. But I went there. They tested me for STDs, and I was like, no, I don't have one. So they sent me to the emergency room. Went to the emergency room and told them what was going on. And I got ultrasounds and MRIs on my testicles.
Oh.
It was the most uncomfortable thing I have absolutely ever done. It was crazy. And all they could come up with was saying that I had an inflamed nerve. But I'm pretty sure it was just blue balls.
Hey, Nate, I don't want to interrupt, but Elizabeth has a pretty serious comment here. Do you want to read that?
How do y'all see the comments?
Go to the private chat section.
Bobby, can you put Elizabeth's comment on the screen?
Oh, Tom, I'm sorry about your balls.
My husband passed in 2020 from a military-connected disability. He was seeing a therapist at the VA for PTSD. It took many years for the VA to give veterans the therapy they said desperately needed.
Yeah, so my therapy is through the VA.
I'm sorry, Elizabeth, to hear that.
Yeah, that's very unfortunate, and it's unfortunately super common, and I hate that so much. My therapy
22.
is through my therapy is through the VA, through the Mission of Freedom Act or something like that. I have a civilian therapist, which I'm very fortunate for. I've been to different VA therapists and on different medications that haven't worked and just made my life so much harder. And probably without this therapy and the new act that they passed, like I think it was in January or February of last year, things probably would be totally different for me.
Well, there's still stigma, not only in men, but in the military community, especially. I remember, because I still had active duty stints, like where I went on my 2 weeks, I was integrated with the active duty community. And, there was just, they blackballed each other all the time. Like, if somebody wasn't doing well, rather than like taking them aside and helping them, they just ridiculed them and kind of just piled on. And, I could see where it would go bad for a guy. or a girl for that matter.
Yeah, girls in the military definitely have it the worst, but they also have it the best. But I'm not going to get into that.
Oh yeah, they all get sexually harassed, the poor things.
But yeah, in the military, in the Navy, at the very least, you drown your problems with alcohol.
Why just the Navy?
Well, the Navy the Navy theme song, it literally is about drinking. That's.
Oh, okay.
um.
Were you both in the Navy?
Yep.
Yes. Yeah, and I
We
learned
went to
that I
boot
was
camp
around a lot of
together.
alcoholics. Yeah, that's how we know each other from 2013. We were in boot camp for 3 months together. And then we said our goodbyes. Never talked to each other again until September of last year.
At least he had that.
Yeah, I mean, where would we be without Facebook?
Yeah.
Right? It's got its perks. As long as you don't get too political. I hate that. You're only preaching to the choir when you do that.
Yeah,
And
I stayed
this
away
has been
from
killing
politics. Almost lost my relationship with my sister because of it. And I was just like, I'm backing up.
Yeah, you're never going to change anybody's mind on social media.
Almost
Just
died
like
in the
bumper
riots.
stickers.
No.
I'm sorry, I shouldn't go there.
But yeah, Chris and I met, and then he messaged me, or he commented on my post, and I messaged him, and now he can't get rid of me. He probably cusses me out under his breath a couple times a day.
You too. I'm so I think your podcast is going to take off because I love you, man. It's such a likable. You guys are so. I can't even get my words out because I'm so emotional.
Guys, you should really, if you like Jason's
you're such
podcast,
likable people.
You need to listen to his episode at least because
yeah,
I couldn't stop laughing over the story about the fly getting pissed on.
Oh, thank you. Oh, Elizabeth commented, "Sorry, I interrupted your blue ball story."
I know.
She put something so emotional up there and beautiful when you were talking about your blue balls. And Tom even commented, "I've also had my balls ultrasounded." This is such a relatable show.
Well, I'm glad it stopped because I'm a terrible comedian. I don't know the punchline. So I could have told that story and there would have been a punchline. So that's why I don't do stand-up.
From blue balls to black balls, you guys cover it all. That's our slogan for the show. I love it.
That'll be the episode title.
If we could bring Tom on, we could hear all about people that's the next show is people who've had their balls ultrasounded.
Oh yeah, it was weird. It was like an elderly Asian lady. She's probably like in her late 40s.
So no worries about it being moving or anything like that.
Yeah, the whole time in my head, I'm just like, don't get a boner, don't get a boner, don't get a boner. And then I tried looking because I wanted to see what it looked like on the screen. And she's like,
but if you do get a boner, that's a power move.
That's a power move.
Except a male nurse had to come in there and watch the whole thing. So he was watching everything.
That's
definitely a power.
You
get a boner and you look him in the eyes.
He was staring at me. Tom and Jerry was playing on the screen, and this like old Asian lady was ultrasounding.
Now, when you say old Asian lady, how old was she?
She's probably in her late 40s.
31.
Late 40s is not. I thought you said that. We're gonna have to talk. Late 40s is not old. Okay.
I say that, yeah.
But, older. You could say older Asian woman.
Yeah, an older Asian woman. She wasn't my type.
Not even.
She wasn't my type.
Shit, if she was Italian, she could live to 110.
And I had a pretty attractive blonde nurse that was helping me out and everything, trying to make me uncomfortable.
How many fucking people were in there looking at your balls?
Oh, it was so bad. And then
there was a male nurse, an Asian nurse. There was a clown.
When I get X-rayed, I usually like to tell them to tag me on the picture.
I wanted to be like, hey, can I have these for later? I'm sure I could get them somewhere. I could go back and ask for them.
You do have a right to your X-rays, I imagine.
Oh yeah.
Tom said. Oh, sorry.
Go ahead, Tom.
He said, I had an attractive young nurse. I told her it would only be fair if she did it topless, and she did not go for it.
Yeah. When my patients ask for that, I never do it either. I'm a nurse too. I'm one of the male nurses that was staring at Nathan's nuts, apparently.
Yeah. You kinda
So
look
you're
like you.
from the military to a nurse. You just want to be all kinds of attainable for the ladies, don't you?
That's
Do
why I
you
have so many kids.
Yeah, that's
yeah? How
true.
many kids do you have, Chris?
3. I found condoms at a late age.
3. Yeah, you don't seriously. You must have triplets.
Nip for nuts, Chris. It's only fair.
How are y'all seeing the voice chat?
I need to nip my nip my
Oh.
nuts.
Yeah.
So, Nate, we got a segue here because we don't get to talk about half this shit on our podcast.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, we're pretty serious.
So, we got off topic earlier. I want to know: do you think hiding a body and getting away with murder is as easy as it is on TV?
I'm gonna say no. I'm gonna say
Yes.
there's so many. Just from watching Dexter, I've learned you could tell so much from blood splatter, from the DNA, from a hair follicle. There's a lot of evidence that gets left behind. There's so many different acids in the body.
I will say, I feel like it's where it happens that's the issue.
No, look at this. I just looked it up. Unsolved murders in the USA, they estimate about 250,000. So
if you do it in the middle of nowhere, nope, unless you're what's his name's dumbass. The Gabby Petito case. I mean, I'm not sorry. I feel so bad for the girl and her family. But that being said, how the fuck do you go back in her car and not say anything for a week and expect not to get found?
I didn't know they a day, a year away. It said a year. It said 250,000 a year, expected to go up 6,000 every year.
It's got to be easy.
Really?
Still. I mean, look at all those pictures in Walmart. All the missing people.
Yeah,
That's because of vampires. I saw
there
the
is.
Lost Boys.
Did you know there's one legal place in the United States to get away with murder?
No, there's not.
Oh, that
Yep.
little strip. That little strip
Yeah.
in what is it like?
It's
Vegas?
it's like 3 acres or something like that. But yeah, it's legally allowed to get away with murder.
Wait, where?
Let me look it up.
So you didn't even know? You don't know this for a
I
fact?
mean,
not
not
lying.
like it's like a legality thing. So like the strip specifically, there's no governing body over for it. So they don't know who the case would go to. So I'm sure they'd still find a way. It would probably be federal. They'd probably just make it a federal crime.
It is right next to it's in Idaho,
Of
right
course
next
it
to
is.
Wyoming, in the Yellowstone National Park. It's called the Zone of Death.
Zone of death.
Yep, 50 square miles.
So within a 50-mile radius around Idaho and Wyoming, you can
Yep.
legally murder somebody. You can do the purge, basically.
Just shove them off a cliff.
Tom said it. I think it's on Joe Rogan's ranch.
But yeah,
Yeah.
Is that that fell flat? That got nothing. Wow.
Joe Rogan's Ranch.
that's how I feel.
All right. So that's fascinating to me. But I think I don't
I'm full
believe
of
that
fun
if you.
facts.
But I still believe that if you do murder somebody in that radius and you step out of that zone, you will not get away with the murder.
I feel like the feds would come in. Speaking
Yeah.
of federal crimes, if you're in a state where it's legal to buy marijuana and you travel to another state where it's legal to buy marijuana, you have still committed a federal crime because you crossed state lines.
Yep.
I just learned, when I was doing catering, I learned that I couldn't, like, if I was bringing alcohol to a party, I couldn't bring it. It'd have to be in New Jersey. I couldn't go from, I don't know if it's selling alcohol from New Jersey to Philadelphia, but it was illegal to do what I did, to bring the alcohol from, across state lines for some reason.
Does Jersey still do the thing where you don't pump your own gas?
Yeah. It's
We
really
still do
weird.
that thing. It's great. It's nice to not have to get out of your car.
It's great until you get those gas prices.
Oh,
I don't know about you, but I love supporting big oil. I don't know why you're so un-American and you don't want to support big the
My
gas
whole
company.
family is big oil. I'm the only one that isn't.
You have the accent of big oil. You do.
Yeah.
You
You have the accent of big oil.
I look like I belong in big oil.
They only do
You-
that thing
you
in
look like-
Jersey so Vinny has a job after Jersey Shore is over.
But yeah, I changed
Commissioners are
our headline on our show to what do you get when you get a blue collar hippie and a nurse? I said this podcast.
Yeah, I love how you have
Hey.
like 6 descriptors for yourself and 1 for me, asshole.
You can go in and change it anytime you want.
Oh, you won't like what I change it to.
This is why you should watch the I Love You Man podcast, because of this amazing banter that you'll get. So go watch the
I
Love
do
You
all the
Man
heavy
podcast.
lifting, and he pays the bills.
Sure, I'm a sugar daddy right now.
Yep.
Wow, that's
we
kind of hot.
recently reached a little over 2,000 downloads, which is a big milestone for us.
Where are they downloading you from?
So a download is
Pornhub?
anything that's streaming. Yep.
Oh,
We're the
okay.
only podcast on Pornhub.
So you have 17 podcasts so far total, and you have over
17.
2,000 downloads.
Correct.
I might have 80, so you're doing really well.
Hey, but you got this cool. I want to get a chat, Nate. Where are we getting?
Yeah, I definitely am on the fence, not on the fence of doing something like this. You got $50 a month, Chris,
For what?
Hello, Ann.
for this?
Oh, yeah, I'm sure we could make it work.
See, he's the big bucks.
Well, it's all part of being. It's because he's single now, and it costs him nothing to go through.
Oh, he's not single.
Oh, you're not
yeah,
single.
we got back together.
Yeah.
Well,
that's a whole deal.
congratulations, Chris. And we
Yeah.
have some people just tuning in. Ann Rothney, for one. And I'm here with Nathan and Chris of the I Love You Man podcast about mental health for men. Not saying women don't need mental health, but
We're working on trying to get a women's mental health podcast going.
they just need women.
We
Yes.
just need women.
Well, I have one. Chris is trying to work some stuff out.
Tom, hold on. Tom's reaching out. We will talk. Nate might need to make you a team member. Oh, yeah. Tom, reach out to Nathan Cole Smith. All right.
We don't
Ann-
use
Ann
my
is
full
listening.
name here.
Oh, yeah.
He's name
Sorry.
dropping.
It's his Nate. Oh, if you want to find him on social media, I Love You Man.
I love you, man.
Thank you.
Tom's blackballing you.
He is. Jason has a few women in the basement. And meanwhile, Ann's very complimentary with Jason. Very good subject, by the way. And Tom's here talking about how I keep women in the basement.
So
Tom,
is
you're
this an
killing the vibe.
episode or like is this an
I can't see
episode
the
that's gonna
claw
be
marks on
published?
that wall.
This is publishing as we speak. Yes. Anything happens here?
We're live. Live, Nate. How do you like that?
Yeah, it's pretty cool. I would like to do something like this.
So, the Funko Pop thing, Jason, how long have you been doing that?
Oh, you can see the background, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's sort of for my mental health. It's
What's your-
kind of things that represent my likes and interests in Funko world.
What's
My
your
wife
most
used to work
prized
at
one?
Barnes and Noble. That's over there. Oh no, hold on, I'll show you. Wait. Ready? See if you get the joke here.
That's the Cheshire Cat.
The Brady
No,
Bunch.
that's
That
the
is
Brady
not.
Bunch. Shit.
No,
I
that's
thought that
Dan
was
Brady
Alan.
and George Glass. But how many Funkos
George-
do you see?
One.
Yes, George Glass was her made-up boyfriend or imaginary friend.
That's real.
That was before my time.
Yeah, that's,
the Brady
we're
Bunch
showing
was-
our age.
Oh yeah, well the Brady Bunch still shows on TV. You might have seen it.
But that was back when mixed families were shocking.
You want to see what I put together, Jason?
Those whores remarried.
This is my Christmas gift.
What is that? Exterminate.
Do the thing. Do the thing.
It's the Infinity Gauntlet.
Do the
I thought it
thing.
was a Dalek. Oh wow, very cool. You made that?
Yeah.
That's impressive, Nate. See,
Yeah,
that's just something else that if you weren't with us anymore, you never would have made the gauntlet.
I dare you to wipe your ass with that thing.
No, this is probably, I hope this never gets stolen. It's probably my most prized possession, honestly.
Can you wear it like a glove?
No, it's a Lego.
Let me
Look,
see the inside.
this is what the
Oh, it's
inside
a
looks like.
Lego. I
No.
thought you made it with crafts and tools and
Macaroni.
Is it now less impressive?
no, it still takes a lot of effort to make a Lego like that.
And this is my other one. This one's heavy.
Oh, that's pretty
That
cool. Is that
tongue's
Lego
not
too?
Lego.
Yeah, it is.
It's a Lego tongue.
Yeah.
God, I bet you he gets it with all the ladies. I bet he's got a big fan base.
He doesn't have to worry about it because he's married now.
You want to see my piggy bank?
And this is your man cave. I take it you're in your man cave.
Yeah, this is my piggy bank.
Fred
He's actually in
Flintstone.
Jason's basement, Tom. Don't let him fool you.
Yeah, this is my piggy bank. I got.
For a second, I thought that was Fred Flintstone, but I'm showing my age. That's an anime.
I love the Flintstones, so I know that one. I used to watch it on repeat with my grandma.
See, I had a friend who passed away who made me this, one of my prized possessions. Do you recognize it?
What is
Pandora's
that?
box.
Well, it's from Hellraiser.
Never seen it.
This releases demons, so I'm not going to do this. Demons are fetish freaks, so I'm gonna keep
So
that away. It's not,
Pandora's box is saying. Where does that come from? Isn't
Pandora's box.
that like
That's-
Greek or something?
Yeah, it's Greek mythology.
Okay, let's hear it. Describe it.
It's
Hold on.
Pandora's box.
Diane
I'm
Paget
not
said this is for you, Nate. Diane Paget said, "Hate Legos. Been there with kids. Build everything. Step on one. Done with great fun. For educational purposes, building." Well, that was difficult to read, Diane, but I get your point. I see your
I thought-
frustration because if I had kids, I'd hate Legos too. As soon as
I
you
thought
step on one,
for
forget
some
it.
reason she said kids blind. So I thought her blind kid was stepping on every single Lego.
Kids build everything. Step
Yeah.
on one. Done with.
Yeah,
Done
once
with-
you step on one, it's kind of you let out that first expletive, and you're done with the Legos. I get it.
Well, that's why I
Sure.
don't give my son the Legos. I keep them.
Yeah, they're for big boys.
I had for Christmas a long time ago, several years ago, when the Pirates of the Caribbean franchise was like just getting started. I bought the Black Pearl set. It was huge, the biggest piece I've ever put together. And I wanted to put in like a little fish bowl and like make a scene for it and everything. Well, I went to the Navy the next year. My grandma threw it all away. She swears she never did this, but she did. And now it's worth about $2,000, and I paid $100 for it. So
Damn.
I've done that. Yeah.
pretty salty.
Most of my childhood toys that were worth anything are gone because I was careless as a kid and never thought value. I never thought they'd be worth anything one day.
Well, and that's why they go up, because every kid thought that way. But if you saved every freaking thing from your childhood, you wouldn't have room to walk in your fucking house.
You make a
Yeah.
valid point, Chris. Yes. I guess I don't need to go to therapy anymore.
That's right. So
My
I-
mom still has my Matchbox cars, though. I should
Well,
look at the
that's
value of
worth
some of
nothing.
these.
Yeah.
You're right.
You got any beanie babies?
Are those still a thing?
Are they worth anything anymore?
Oh yeah.
I thought they were like
Really?
a fad expensive.
No, they're still
Well-
worth something. Man, I am so white, guys.
I love how the downturn this has taken. We've covered so many important topics.
I've never been
And
on a
now he's
podcast like this. Usually we have like a main subject and we talk about other people.
You've never
This is
been
a-
so free form.
Yeah.
What was when you're with your show? I love you. Back to I love you, man. You're the guest. I want to promote your show.
Yes, I love you, man.
With I love you, man. What was, do you think, one of the most, as far as the shows that you have, something you're not counting the one I was on, but what show were you most proud of, where you thought, wow, that was really a powerful show? Have you had a guest, because you deal with a lot of anonymous people, everyday average Joes? Have you had something that you thought, wow, that was deep, that was incredible?
I think the last one that we had, Jared.
Yep.
I think
Well,
that
I
was
mean,
the
the
one
subway
that.
guy, right?
No, not the subway guy. Um,
He probably has a
Jared.
story too, though.
Yeah, Jared, Chris, and I think we can both agree on that. It was kind of unlike anything that we had really heard before. It's not like we knew it or we've heard it all or anything, but like this guy, he died when he was 8 years old for like 26 seconds.
Oh wow.
Don't remember anything before 8 because of it. And his mom was like, just leave him there. He'll wake up eventually. Didn't care, nothing. And he hit puberty early. When he was like 13, he was like 6 foot tall and already had a full beard by the time he was 13. And so he would go to bars with his mom and drink as long as no one would ID him. And as he got older, I think he was doing like cocaine when he turned 16, he said.
His mom was hooking him up with her friends that
yeah,
were
he was
adults.
sleeping with his mom's friends. He'd go to the bars and see his teachers and have conversations with his teachers.
Wow.
It was a wild story,
How did you meet this guy?
He found us on Facebook. He found us on Facebook, started listening, and it took a lot of convincing for him to be on, but he was like, I think I'm ready. So we got him on, and me and him are actually pretty good friends.
How old is he now?
He's 32 or 34, somewhere within that range.
This guy's been through a lot.
Yeah, he has like PTSD from all the situations he's been in and everything. And
now, is it really? Is it screwing your mom's friends is a very popular thing in porn? But was it traumatic? Was that the traumatic thing for him, or was it the neglectful mother?
Yeah, I think it was just his lifestyle that he was doing it. The PTSD came from oh shit, my computer got unplugged.
We still seeing here you
talking to us.
Yeah, technically you should be dead right now for 24 seconds.
No, it said the battery was low. It gave me a warning. But no, just his lifestyle was a very his mom, he was beat. One of his mom's boyfriends would like beat him and everything and stuff.
Oh my God.
It was just a wild journey, Chris and I don't think we were really prepared for it. We were kind of prepared for the other stuff that we've been through, like we've had talks of suicide and all sorts of stuff. But that one really took us for a turn. It's someone that we're definitely going to have back on when he's ready to tell more detailed stories.
Yeah.
So he's got more stories to tell. What a life this guy's had.
Yeah. I'm trying to convince him to write a book.
I was just gonna say I would read that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's it's almost fetishized especially for young men to like have sex with the older woman, but I mean, especially if you're a child, I mean that's not really.
Yeah, he was doing things that people don't even.
Wait, how old was he?
He was probably like 16, between 16 and 18.
I think he was like 15 or 14 when he started sleeping with his mom's friends.
He said he lost his virginity at 14.
That's really young. I mean, but what kind of grown adult would do that? That's the question.
A drug addict. Well, yeah. I mean, they were the type of people that went to the bar every night. I mean,
I did, but
were you drinking like binge drinking every night?
I wasn't binge drinking every day. No.
Were you doing cocaine and everything?
No, I've never done coke, and I still
doing cocaine, all sorts of stuff.
Yeah, I know I haven't done that, but I'm
like
too much of a hypochondriac. I know I'm missing out.
It's okay. I was pretty sheltered too.
I went to the doctor today, and they were freaking out because my blood pressure was really high, which made me a nervous wreck. So they gave me an EKG, and the doctor he goes out, and he comes back in and says, about your results, I'm trying to tell myself this is it's all in my head or something like that. And I was like, don't say that. What kind of no bucket list. I never did coke. Somebody said, really? Never coke? Yeah, I'm already a nervous person enough. But yeah, the doctor comes in and he goes, I'm trying to tell myself that I'm that's all me, or he's looking at it wrong. And I was like, all of a sudden, I'm like, can I lay down for a little bit? He said, I'm going to send you to a cardiologist right now.
Oh shit.
Like, Jesus Christ. That was not what I wanted to hear. And I was like, I have to drive myself, and I had no choice. And the cardiologist said, you're fine. He said, you're supposed to be up and down. Heart rate goes up and down. This means you're alive. It's fine. Don't sweat it.
Well, yeah, and some people get what they call lab coat syndrome. So your blood pressure automatically goes up when you're in a medical environment because you're already on edge and nervous.
Right, exactly.
So
yeah, so that was a nerve-wracking day.
Yeah, a lot of doctors, the good ones, will have you like get regular blood pressure readings at home and kind of bring in the results and see what that is like, as opposed to while you're in the office.
I need to get a blood pressure reading machine.
I'd get one at CVS.
Yeah. If anybody watching wants to send me on my Amazon wish list on my OnlyFans page, the blood pressure reading machine, I'll for $40 I'll do it naked.
$40.
It'll pay for itself and then some.
Well, where are you going to put the cuff first? Is the question.
Oh, yeah, this is true. I made it not a kid-friendly show again. Well, listen, guys, you guys have been a blast. I love you both, and I want to have you back, and I want you back when I have my co-host on.
Yeah.
Where is he?
Justin got a gig that requires Wednesday night rehearsals for the next few weeks. He's a professional singer, opera singer.
Wow.
The guy's unbelievable. He sung at Carnegie Hall at 13 years old, Notre Dame. He fronts a Queen tribute band as the Freddie Mercury voice.
Really? That's impressive.
He's amazing. And he's such a funny and nice guy, too. Now, his joke is he doesn't look like Freddie Mercury. He looks more like Fatty Mercury or Freddie Jupiter. But yeah, we love that about him. He's an amazing talent. And you guys have to come back. You gotta be regulars, and we'll be a little more together.
Oh God, look at my hair.
Yeah, maybe we'll be a little bit put together. This is new for us. We've never been on we've never been on anyone else's podcast.
Want to support the crew? Smash that.
Oh wow. Good night, Ann.
Colin Mockery. That's pretty impressive.
Yeah. Bucket List Experiences, Tom Bannis is on a show called Dystopia Tonight, which is also on the Twitch channel that we stream on, Drinks, Jokes, and Storytelling. And Dystopia has some great guests. They have Colin Mockery. They got Shane McGowan from the Pogues coming up. They've had some Ernie Hudson from Ghostbusters. They got some really good people.
Wow.
And
where could they find you? Check the podcast out.
Yes, tell Colin to watch I Love You, Man. Yeah. And where can they find you?
Us?
Yes, if people want to watch I Love You, Man.
We're on YouTube. Just search for I Love You, Man, a mental health podcast. Facebook.com/I Love You, Man pod. That's POD. We have a Patreon. It's patreon.com/ILYM, where we do merch for a discounted price and behind the scenes, and we let people so we try to do these mental health checks weekly. We've been a little bit behind, but
we're on Apple and Spotify if you want to listen to it in the car.
We're on Apple and Spotify and Facebook, pretty much the major platforms where you can get your podcast. All you have to do, we're so big now that all you have to do is just type in I Love You, Man, and you'll see a little cartoon face of us. We just updated the logo.
I love it.
We're very proud of.
Be sure to check it out. And guys, hang out for a second. We're gonna end the show, and we'll meet you back in the green room.
Sounds good.
Thank you again, everybody, for watching and tuning in. Chris, Nate, thank you so much, and take care. And I'll talk to you soon.
Thanks for having us.
Thanks, Tom.